Here's HealthWise with Karin McCay.
There are some issues that come with growing old that you'd never expect to see in your kids. But Hannah King surprised her parents with a grown-up problem that could not be fixed with an aspirin. 17-year-old Hannah King has always been active and athletic, the kind of person who loves to bike and hike and run. She was a proud member of the cross-country team at Cooper High School until a four-letter word hit her like a brick in the hip.
And she ended up becoming defined by this pain. She hurt at night when she went to bed. She hurt when she went to school.
So Hannah had been dealing with hip pain for the last year.
Dr. Matthew Kreitler is an orthopedic surgeon who specializes in a relatively new field called hip preservation, using different techniques to save the patient's own hip rather than replace it. We were with Hannah for her 3-month checkup after having arthroscopy, which uses a tiny camera to help repair her hip.
The camera is just to see what you're doing, but then through the other incisions, you can shave down extra bone.
And that was Hannah's problem, too much bone right where it turns into the hip socket, making every step painful. It's a condition called femoroacetabular impingement, or FAI.
During hip arthroscopy, you'll shave down all this extra bone so that after surgery, when that extra bone is no longer there, patients are able to freely move.
Is she a common scenario? Do you see a lot of young people?
Absolutely. Patients who are between 16 and 22 years of age, those patients do the best with hip preservation surgeries.
He says they don't have arthritis yet. The reason why older people are often poor candidates because their arthritis can leave irreversible damage in the hip joint.
But so far she's doing very well, and she's just progressing with her rehab and getting back to running and building that muscle strength right now.
Best of all, Hannah says she no longer has unbearable pain.
It's not even close. I mean, I was hurting every single day, like trouble sleeping, and doesn't bother me at all. Not at all.
And the procedure left her with just 2 tiny scars.
And these scars will continue to fade over time, over the next year or two.
To hear her say she's now pain-free, and for Dr. Kreitler to say she's got the ability to try to go run track again, it's made the whole experience worthwhile.
One final tip from Dr. Kreitler.
When young adults start having hip pain, don't try to push it off, don't try to delay it. Come in and get evaluated.
Because he says you may be a good candidate, like Hannah, for a minimally invasive procedure now that could help you preserve your natural hip and avoid a hip replacement later in life. And Hannah may be the ideal age for this, but Dr. Kreitler said he has done this procedure on people with hip pain in their 40s and 50s. As long as the hip is not damaged, the hip may still be young enough that you could benefit from this hip preservation and get rid of your hip pain.
Stay with us. Sports is next.